To the Boom Bar. My name is Shola Rogers.
My name is Ola Dolupo.
You know,
Sorry.
the coffin one. And together we will try to prevent her from spreading whatever it is that she's got.
What is it that you have?
Whatever it is. It's been an interesting day. How is your day going? What's happening to you in your side of the world?
Interesting.
If you are in Nigeria, are you buying fuel with ease? Are you begging to buy fuel even with your money? Are people bypassing you on the queue and being crazy? Or wherever you are in the part of the world, I know that in the US, the price of fuel per gallon has gone crazy. And it's a reflection of the current price of crude in the world. We know that in Europe, everybody is talking about the seemingly annexure of a certain part of Ukraine. Everybody's talking about Vladimir Putin and Donetsk and all the things that we've not had to talk about in a long time. And someone said it. I also tweeted something like that. I'm getting that World War III vibe, man. Like, we pray this does not escalate. That's what we've been saying here for the past couple of weeks, And in other parts of Africa, things are happening here and there. At the Boomba, we intend to breeze through all of these topics and try to prefer solutions. There's a politics gist and there's football gist also. A bit of controversy has been started and the debate has started to escalate, actually. If you are on social media, Nigerian social media, you will find the name Okocha trending, and Okocha trending has to do with DJJ Okocha. Remember the guy? So good they named him twice. Yeah. This debate was sparked off. Yeah, that's why. That's how they used to call him then. So good they named him twice. And a debate has been sparked off by the president of the Cameroon Football Federation, Samuel Eto'o, a legend in his own rights. And he said some things that people are finding very, very offensive, and some people are actually celebrating and clapping about. We will talk about that, talk about the Champions League fixtures and any other thing in the world of music, sports, entertainment, and everything in between.
In between, yeah. There is a lot of, like we said, maybe we should just start with sports. There's a lot of I think we should first breeze through the Champions League fixtures. Champions League is today and tomorrow. There is also some Premier League games tomorrow as well.
Exactly.
So I think starting today, there's Chelsea. Chelsea has Premier League games at 9 p.m. Chelsea Lille has that, and there's Juve and Villarreal. I think that's one game that I would love to watch.
It will be interesting.
That is one that will be interesting. And also, tomorrow...
It actually will be interesting.
Another very interesting game that is most likely going to happen, not most likely, that is going to happen, is Manchester United Atletico Madrid.
Yeah.
I think that's with that one. That one is definitely.
That's tonight, I think.
Tomorrow night.
Okay.
That's tomorrow night.
Okay.
And then there's Benfica Ajax as well.
Ooh.
They're both at the same time, 9 p.m. West African time. And also, at 8:30 tomorrow, there's Tottenham Burnley.
Okay.
Watford Crystal Palace, and then at 8:45 Liverpool and Leeds United. I know that a lot of these games coming in between is to make up for all the
for them to catch up on games,
the postponed games. Yeah, so we're going to be seeing a lot of midweek
to weather and to people going to the Club World Cup and all.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of midweek games for at least for the next few weeks because of all this catch up. Definitely, these are games that need to be watched. Actually, they're actually very
especially
interesting
for
games.
Chelsea and Tottenham, and I think Arsenal have one or two of those games. I think.
No, not.
But I'm very sure that Chelsea have. Quite a few.
Arsenal has, I think, about 3 or 4 games as well.
Yeah, that's what I meant actually.
Tottenham has played most of their games actually. Tottenham, Chelsea does, Arsenal does. There are a few people that actually have a few games to catch up on.
Talking about games, we should start to take a look at the Nougat games. the Nigerian University Games. It's coming up,
it's,
at Unilag, University of Lagos, right here, and I think it's something that is going to be exciting. I see the build up and everything, and we should start taking a look at the Nuga Games as it's happening, at least before it unfolds. I think it's in a few days time.
We'll definitely, maybe tomorrow we'll have like an in-depth
look at it.
And so still talking sports, there was something that you talked about, and I felt that okay, let's talk about it. And it's the debate that was sparked by Samuel Eto'o. And it was talking about how he does not know. I think I saw it's the series of tweets where he's wondering how JJ Okocha was never given the, I think, African Football of the Year. Was never one of.
Yeah, he never won all those big awards.
One of those big awards.
I think the only one he got was the BBC at some point.
Yeah, like he never was recognized. That at some point he feels that he's one of the best players. He was one of the best players in the world and all that. And basically sparking a debate that is it because he's African or something, which we know that what he was also saying at some point was, we know that there's always a conversation that JJ Okocha was at some point Ronaldinho's mentor, kind of. And like he was talking about how you juxtapose that, and the person who is supposed to be Ronaldinho's mentor did not get
the kind of recognition that his
mentee got. But now the thing is, when we really, really look at it, what was we know that in the world of football, what we really talk about is people's stats. What were his stats? I know that he was one of the best one of the best dribblers in the world. It was very interesting to watch JJ Okocha. It's very interesting. But we also know that a lot of stats is with goals. We know that, I know for a fact, the parabola, we know that it was his thing, the way his free kicks, it was. But if we now juxtapose it, like for example, let's juxtapose his stats and his stats in his career with someone like Ronaldinho.
Yeah. Okay. The thing is,
those stats have actually given him the recognition that Samuel Eto'o is talking about?
I am torn, and I will try my best to treat this. The thing is, I think I get where Eto'o is coming from. There are a couple of players that you hear about these days, and you feel that they are more hype than substance or skills.
Yeah.
And a lot of people feel that JJ didn't get that kind of hype, that it was way ahead of his time. It was one of the most intelligent footballers on the ball and everything.
Because that's it for me too. I feel like...
But you've brought it down to stats.
Yeah, let's really look at it and not just assume.
But what I know is that I saw JJ run rings around at that time one of the best goalkeepers in the world, the German goalkeeper, and dribble like 5, 6, 7, 8 people, put the ball in the net. I saw his coach getting hysterical on the sideline, like score, and he was still busy showboating and dribbling and all of that. I saw him, do those things, those stunts in Germany. I saw a JJ who moved, I think it was Turkey or so. But at the France '98 World Cup, that's where JJ really showed us the stuff that he was made of. And that did not, go unnoticed. So PSG picked him up. And they paid, at that time, it was the highest paid African footballer.
Yeah.
I think it was $19 million or so. And that was huge money back then in '98. Especially for an African player, But, of course, Ronaldinho came through. And I've always seen both of them as complementary. He's also that kind of player that has a lot of flair and skills and all of that. But Ronaldinho might have pulled off a better one than JJ, in the sense that probably won more awards, more.
Because I'm looking at this now. Yeah.
But JJ on his own.
Let's look at it. Let's look at something that I saw now. This is supposedly some of his stats. In the Premier League, he had 124 appearances in the Premier League and scored 14 goals with 3 assists.
Mhm.
Yeah. In the Bundesliga, he had 90 appearances with 18 goals and 13 assists. Ligue 1, he had 84 appearances, 12 goals, and 7 assists. In the Super League, he had 62 appearances, 30 goals, and 16 assists. This goes on and on and on and on, yeah? Champions League, he had 12 appearances in Champions League, scored just 1 goal. When we really, really, really look at it, when you look at what people are doing now, or even then, they start, some people were raking in, this starts really world class.
If we look at it,
You have 120 in Premier League, 124 appearances with just 14 goals.
at this stats world class, yes and no.
Okay.
No, if you're looking at a striker. Yes, if you're looking at a playmaker. Yes, if you're looking at someone who could change the game, at the drop, of the ball. Like, okay, you know what? It's going to send out one Nassau pass, and before you know it, everything is over. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
What people saw was, there's a way people used to rate players. Look at Pelé, you look at Maradona, but what they had that maybe JJ didn't have was the goal scoring ability. JJ was not your goal scoring.
Because look at it, even in Nigeria,
it was more of
he had
a
75
creator.
caps, and just 15 goals.
It was more of a creator than someone who would score himself. You get, he played a couple of free kicks and he put them, in the net and everything. But again, it was about watching him play and seeing the kind of magic he could do on the ball.
It was.
The reason why they're saying all of this is that if you start to look at other people, other footballers, some of them got plaudits, got recognition, and they couldn't even hold a candle to this guy. They didn't even come close.
Mm-hmm.
You get, when it comes to his flair and the way he played. You get. And again, you look at from the time of George Weah, who was probably the only black man that got African, that got those highest awards. Go check. You'll find that they hardly ever give it, even if you have a player that's doing that well. Like, for a lot of us, we feel that Mo Salah should have gotten better positioning on that platform in all these awards that we're giving out, from Ballon d'Or to... But again, you don't even see him, you don't see Mane. You get. So this is what Eto is referring to. But statistically, no, of course, he didn't do enough to say, okay, justify it with X number of goals, as the case may be.
So that's what I'm saying. So I'm not sure that because yes, let's be honest, he's a very interesting person to watch, like amazing footballer that you cannot take away from him. And the funny thing is that, especially in that their sets, that I don't even think that Nigerian football is as interesting to watch as it was then.
You mean now?
Now, yeah, they were interesting to watch. Like there was football, like you were watching football. You can imagine when during this last AFCON, that I think it was Nigeria's first game, that were like, this is the first time that they had played ball in a while. Like you actually enjoyed watching them play football, yeah, which is what you would not get before. You would actually see interesting football. Win or lose, it's not even about the winning the games, yeah, even though then they actually had more prospects to win, and it's the truth. Let's be honest with ourselves. But we also know that a lot of these things is all boils down to stats. That's it for me.
But it doesn't all boil down to stats. If it was stats, Robert Lewandowski would have won the Ballon d'Or, scored more goals than all those guys, did better than them in that window, in that period. It's never down to stats. It's always also down to other criteria, and there's a lot of at times politics, at times sentiments. Some of the awards you have journalists voting for people. Some of the awards you have journalists, team captains, and coaches.
So which is why when it comes to, if it's not stats, which means that it's not scientific, I have a problem.
It's never been about stats.
Awards at the end of the day is that if it's not about stats, if it's not scientific, and if voting is determinant on a particular person or a particular set of people, where human beings were biased, were sentimental, were emotional, most of the time, these things is not about who does a better job. It's about who I feel.
So that's
better.
That's why I said awards are not about that. If you take a look at it, if it was that clear cut, people wouldn't be saying Messi is better than Ronaldo is better than Messi or whatever. People would know from stats that, oh, this person has played X number of games, it should be the world best player. The year that Modric was given the world best player, was it stats? It wasn't the highest goal scorer that year. You get? So it's never been about stats. That's why you can't also judge JJ based on stats. You know, it's never been about stats. It's always been about perception. It's always been about sentiment. It's always been about other
what everybody thinks
things.
It is.
You know, because you just find it. That's why some of the awards, after the awards, you now see how people voted, and you will see that, oh, the coach of this country gave this person
just because
this point and gave that other person nothing, and you get. So some of them, the criteria for the awards, but it's never ever been about stats.
Never been about stats. So some people are talking about it now. I'm sure that it's past. He probably will not get like any of those awards anymore. Of course not. But you know, it's good for conversation's sake, and not just other than conversation's sake. I think why I also think that these conversations might be needed is that for people coming forward, it probably would help other people. Maybe it's time to really review how these awards are actually given.
You know, we're still talking football, right?
Yeah.
When we want to talk something else, I wanted to, because what you're saying is
yeah, please go ahead.
To just something else, but it's not football.
Just go ahead.
Related. I'm a big fan of Kate Henshaw. Like I love Kate Henshaw. You know, but she put out a tweet.
Yeah.
And the reason why I'm saying it is because one of my friends liked it. On the 21st of February, and today is the 22nd, right?
Yeah.
So this tweet is very recent.
Yeah, yesterday.
Where are my Ghanaian peeps? Is this true? Niger Alpha. She put the HMMM thing. That's you know.
Okay.
And what is the tweet? She's done a screen grab of a post that says that the Ghanacard can now be used as an e-passport in 44,000 airports across the world. In fact, Ghana's national identification card, popularly known as Ghanacard, will enable holders to travel across 97 borders and 44,000 airports in the world, while the Nigerian identity card is for SIM card registration. This is what Kate Henshaw tweeted. And there are 1,998 likes. There are 112 quotes of this tweet, and there are 584 retweets. You get?
Okay.
Now, the ICAO, the organization that people are alleging is behind this, you know, it says helping 193 countries share their skies and connect the world. That's their official Twitter handle.
Yeah. We
are the UN's specialized agency for civil aviation.
Yeah. They
say from their verified and someone now quoted and put it on the thread for Kate Henshaw to read. I hope she reads it.
Okay.
The person posted it 2 hours ago. He said, the ICAO is aware of a recent and incorrect media report claiming that the ICAO has agreed that the Ghanaian ID card is equivalent to an e-passport. However, it is not the ICAO's role to certify the use of a state identity card for international travel in place of a passport. So the people who have been referencing the ICA already are wrong. And they're saying that this is not real, at least from their angle.
Because I was going to say that Western world, nobody does that. Everybody has a passport.
Now, there's another tweet. This person says, I did Ghana, oh, we never hear this news here. We are using this to register SIM cards too. Foreigners pay $120 to get it. It is linked to your tax identification numbers and eventually insurance and health. But the traveling bit, we never hear them. And this is someone who is in Ghana, at least according to the tweet. It's fine for us to spark debate and everything, but it's actually better if we research and fact check things before we put them out. You have a large followership. I love this bit, but we're talking about now than 53,000, over 950,000 followers.
Yeah. To me,
and I've been seeing this thing. She's not the first person. I've been seeing it over the past 1 week or so.
I've come to take a lot of people with a lot of things that people tweet these days. I'm sorry, but especially so-called celebrities. A lot of things that they tweet or things that they put out with a pinch of salt. And I think that it works for them because, unfortunately, we're at a point where, sadly, a lot of people on social media do not read. We have a very crazy, would I say, blind followership when it comes to celebrities in Nigeria. We've seen it happen a lot. Mm-hmm. We see it with Big Brother, for example. We see it with virtually a lot of things that happens, yeah? We seem to have this crazy followership with people that we never
don't
question things that people say just because they are who they are.
You have to take a hook line.
You have to take a hook line and sinker. You assume, which it happens to everybody, because at times when I see some things that some people tweet, I have like when you have like a perceived notion about this person that but when I see these things, I fact check. And they're like, the first thing that comes to my mind is that I really thought this person was smarter than this. Honestly. So, in a way, I also maybe had attributed a bit more, I don't want to say sense, but a bit more intelligence to this particular person, yeah? So, I think it happens to everybody. But where the problem lies is the fact that we never, ever, ever fact check things, starting from the person tweeting it. And it's because people don't get called out for the nonsense that they tweet these days. Because you're a celebrity and then you can tweet it, she's most likely not going to delete it. And even if she deletes that tweet, it will just be, we just move on.
Yeah.
It is time, whether you're a celebrity or not. Fake news, we've seen what fake news has done. We've seen what, I will still keep referencing. There was an, I think it was, I don't know if it was a colloquium or a sit down, or I can't remember, but I remember that it was Wale Soyinka that specifically said that if there's going to be World War III, one of the major things that are going to cause it is going to be, what's it called? Fake news. Which, the way the world is going, you don't doubt it anymore. You really don't doubt it. It's just sad that people that, other than the fact that this person is a celebrity, remember the fact that it's a celebrity. A few months ago, we know she was 50. So you know this person is not a young person. Yeah? This person is... So at times, we know that age is also attributed to some things. So why would you put out things without being sure of things? And it's a thing. It's a thing in Nigeria. It's a thing all over the world, a lot in Nigeria. That because I think with hatred of government or the government of the day, or maybe the country or whatever it is, any negative thing you see, true or not, you just push it out there.
It's almost as if you wish it was true. Like,
you wish it was true.
Okay,
you see news about terrorism. You see news about banditry. You see That's literally the news people push out. Like, okay,
But when you hear that the Nigerian army has done some
you don't
things,
you don't see those things out.
Nah.
But yeah, like you said,
Not them.
it's almost like you are actually happy these bad things are happening.
and
So
that's my fear.
and like these tweets that came up now, I can't seem to wrap my head around it because at times it's not about fact checking. There's some things that do not even sound right to me. I don't know if the way people, the first thing when you read that thing out, the first thing that it popped out to me, like, okay, I know world's like major like economies and major countries of the world, like the US, the UK, Europe, Germany, like they're basically countries and continents that we can see, okay, they're like China. Last I checked, everybody still uses a passport.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that an African country cannot be the first to do some things.
No big deal there.
But last I checked, it was not a thing. Traveling with a card was not a thing. I know the issues of passports.
The world will get there, but
yeah, the issues of passports
what about visas?
Visas, where to put your visas.
Arrival stamps?
Do you understand? Those are actually reasons for those booklets, really.
But eventually when we even get to stuff, yeah, it will happen.
It would happen, but
not like this.
I'm lost. So that was literally the first thing that popped in my head. Like, so that alone would make me go and find out that is this thing even true or not? So where do we get off and I'm sorry, maybe it's because of the kind of people that I follow on social media or the kind of things I surround myself with. I don't see these things. So not that I don't see that these people tweet it. Where they get their information from is the part I don't get. Like, where do you get this information that you now feel that is wonderful enough for you to put it out?
Yeah, so we are in an era where everybody is a broadcaster.
Yeah.
Everybody is a pseudo-journalist or journalist, as the case may be. But nobody wants to care to get the training or look at the form of decorum that guides it. It's sad because, for instance, to be a broadcaster now, all you need is a smartphone.
Oh, yeah.
You don't even need this elaborate setup in some cases, right? But you cannot walk into a court now and say you're a lawyer and start to
just be really nice. In fact, you're going to jail if you actually impersonate like
you cannot,
a lawyer. You're going to jail.
You can't walk into an hospital now and say, you know what, I want to be a doctor and I just feel like I'm being a doctor. But now that we all have smartphones, everybody
wants to be a journalist. Everybody is a broadcaster.
And that's where the problem is.
It's a very interesting.
I always just say that it's fine at times when it's banter and it's play, yeah? But again, always think about the effects of
the things that you
put out
and
what it might cost.
Exactly. And on that note, let's come down to Nigeria. There's a lot of gist happening all over. First things first, looks like somebody is staying in jail for a pretty long time again. As news had come up today that a court in Nigeria, a federal high court, has officially agreed to the NDLEA, the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, to for the detention of Abba Kyari for the next 2 weeks.
The Abba Kyari who just got arrested last week.
Yeah.
Okay. Things have to be done legally, right? You know, they don't want to hold him against the laws of
after a number of hours you have to
depending on kind of charges that he's facing and everything. And it would have been completely scary if you hear that Abba Kyari is out. Out on bail. With all those allegations and everything.
It's a very interesting one because today alone, he had also approached the court, Abba Kyari himself, demanding 500 million naira from NDLEA over unjust detention. This was before the...
A part of me wants to say, such cheek. What nerve, right?
Yeah, like seriously. And but you
The other part of me is
you know
like,
why you can't blame him. He knows the system. He knows how it works.
the other part of me is like, chill. Let the drama unfold. Let everything play out. Let us see how
I was even
everything
going to say
work.
that this is fight back and forth already. It smells very funny. Like, I don't think he's helping his innocence at this point. Let me just put it like that.
Yeah, so guess what? I saw a video. I don't know if I shared it or saved that video. A young black man in America. When I say young, I really mean like a little child. I'm not sure it's up to 12 years old. Was talking about crime in his class or something. It was like, it's people who don't have money that do time. That is people who don't have money that really get into trouble.
Mm-hmm.
That when people commit crimes and they have money, they hardly ever do time. You think, oh, it's just talking like, but think about it.
But it's true.
You commit a crime.
They have the best lawyers.
Lawyers in the world. They look at the system and work
and look
the
for
system.
ways.
And when they
and
work
we know
the
that
system,
the law is not about right and wrong.
No.
It's how you can prove your case.
Exactly. So at the end of the day, it's sad, but people who have money will find a way. They will appeal. They will do this. They will do that. They will get bail. You know, they will get people to stand shorty for them. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
As against some random guy that stole, you know, a judge's phone, and he gets sent to X number of years. You've heard about those kind of cases, even in Nigeria, where some things that you feel are ridiculous. I'm not condoning crime, but you're like, if a guy like this is getting this kind of punishment, what happens to people in government who are stealing like billions? Then they get fined 1 million naira.
1 million naira or 3 months.
And they slap on the wrist. And even that slap on the wrist can be postponed. Like, wait, we're going to give you a slap on the wrist, but wait, not now.
Mm-hmm.
If you commit another crime, then we'll give you a slap on the wrist. Now you can go. Go pay 1 million naira and go and sin less.
Not sin no more. Okay. Oh God, it's a very interesting set of things. There's a lot of allegations that is against this person, and this person looks like he's fighting tooth and nail, but he also looks like NDLEA is not having it easy with him. It's definitely not having it easy with him.
Do they think that Abba Kyari was going to go quietly? Did they think like, oh, Abba Kyari will have you, and he's not going to throw his hands up and say, you have me, I give up? He has money. He has a network.
Sure, he has money.
They are the ones that are talking about cartel. That was part of a cartel. You think he's just going to kick back
and those people too will not want him. The longer he stays in those places, the more he's probably going to give up.
It's the kind of when you're talking correct flight risk, this is it. It's the kind of guy that if he comes out like this,
that's it.
He's gone.
He's gone.
You will never see him again.
Exactly.
Never. This guy, they will have money stashed in funny countries,
funny places.
You know?
it's a very interesting one. And moving on from that, the court is not. I won't say the court now. The Nigerian police. I don't know if you saw this story, but this was talking about yesterday where a chief superintendent of police had confirmed to the Lagos State Coroner's Court, talking about Sylvester Oromoni's case, that the advice of the police, the first report of the police, was basically indicting Dawn College and its employees.
Mm-hmm.
So, according to this, it does not look like Dawn College is out of the woods yet.
No, they are not. And
all the people that involved.
You know, if we can go look to old videos that we've made here at the bar, we kept on saying it now that this was not handled right, and it's not possible for the school to completely absolve itself because they didn't exactly cover themselves in glory. When this happened, again, I repeat, Dowen shouldn't have handled it this way.
I think that's what literally just...
They should have been the one to have actually invited the police.
That's where it is. And I think that like what we're talking about with Abba Kyari earlier, it is the idea of everybody forming defense. There's already like a wall of defense. Exactly. Like, okay, can we like think about it and look at these things? What's it called? Look at these things holistically. I don't think that they thought it through. It was just let's just put out a report quickly, and I don't think they thought. Because,
Again,
in fact, I was even going to ask: is the school open now?
I don't think so. Again, a lot of people who were complaining about the way the police handled it, they are not been proven right. Like, okay, you arrested some people, you just let them go. While there's still going to be a coroner's inquest and other things, people felt like some of those decisions by the police were premature.
Yeah.
A lot of people felt that way. Now, it's the same police that are more or less contradicting themselves. Because at some point, they justified the release of those people and whatever decisions they took then. Now they're telling us that their recommendations was different. So who said that those people should walk away? In this young man's matter, Sylvester Oromoni, I wish they would let him rest in peace. You know, but this matter is not about to go away.
I personally feel somebody needs to pay for this.
Yes. So this
if
matter,
I know somebody, some people.
This matter is not about to go away. Everybody that's culpable must be brought to book. Dolupo, if you do not punish people for this crime, it will not stop.
It won't stop.
I went to the kids' school today, and there's a poster that I see all the time. It says a bully-free zone and all of that. It's fine to put out a poster to say it's a bully-free zone. But you see the bullies that walk through your gate and the people being bullied. Do you think they are even reading that poster?
Poster at all. It's not about a poster. It's about what the things that are being put in place.
Exactly. So no one could have had that poster outside. But we've heard of stories of people being tortured by students and all sorts of things, you know. And these are not unfounded things. These are things that have actually been proven. There are people out there who are out, you know, to let people know what's going on.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah, and moving off the issue of courts, I think that we should go all the way to the House of Assembly. House of Assemblies in a lot of states are not, there's a bit of, you know,
issues here
and there. One of it is Ebonyi State. Ebonyi State there was a lot of drama that happened in Ebonyi State, and people that do not know what happened is the deputy speaker in Ebonyi State, it was said that the seat was vacant. Why? Because there's an alleged resignation letter
from the deputy speaker
where he had resigned. They said he had resigned, and because first I heard was that he was impeached. Then I went to read it and I'm like, okay, that he claimed that he resigned from the position. Then the deputy speaker came out to say that he did not resign. In fact, he was resigning as a member of the House of Assembly.
That's what he's saying?
That was what the letter was.
So not just as speaker that he will step down and become a floor member.
No, not just that.
Completely.
That seat was vacant. So maybe INEC would have to do what's it called now? A by-election for that seat, for that constituency, and all that. And then he came out to say that he does not, he did not resign, that he still remains the deputy speaker, and is claiming that what happened was that we know that the governor of Ebonyi State moved from PDP to the APC, and we know it is a thing where a lot, if not all, House of Assembly members, a lot of cabinet,
they usually collapse the entire party structure.
Unfortunately, some people did not, which included the deputy speaker, and so it seems that it looks like there's been some rancor here and there. And according to the speaker, I said that there's actually 2 of them that resigned. But now they are claiming that it's because they did not defect, that's why they're trying to force them to resign. But that whatever letter that they saw is not true, and that he's claiming
So it's a
that
fake
the action
resignation letter.
of the House is, according to him, is monkey child's play.
What is monkey play? No, monkey play. Child's play, not child's play.
Monkey child's play.
Have you heard that one before?
Please.
Monkey child's play.
He's saying, according to him, I
Okay.
do not belong to the APC. If you represent your people, it's your people that will decide. No man is God. The House realized that they do not have 2/3 majority to effect my impeachment. That's why they allege that I resigned. That's what happened. Why will I resign? Is it that I'm mentally deranged? Did INEC give any other member a certificate of return? It's now a legal issue. They plan to kill me. They're planning bloodshed. They cannot kill me because they did not create me. I choose to be in PDP.
Yeah, I like him taking a strong stance. You get, but politics is a game of numbers. If they really want him out, are they not supposed to go about it the right way?
Yeah, that's why they're saying that they can't have 2/3, so they're trying to just force him out. That's what he's alleging.
Okay, so
So if he did not sign a resignation letter,
who did?
where did the resignation letter?
Who was the first person to publish that letter? You might get to the bottom of it if you find out where the letter emanated from. Because
Okay.
the letter didn't just drop from, out of thin air. It must have been written by someone and printed or whatever. Then let's know who brought it out first, then we'll get somewhere. But if we don't know, we'll just be here and we'll be wondering how they're going to play out this drama in Ebonyi.
We'll see. Until talking about House of Assemblies, another person that has drama with the House of Assembly is the Zamfara Deputy Governor.
Ongoing.
Oh yeah, we know that
Update to-
they've been trying to impeach him for a while. He's gone to court. There's been back and forth. Now, as of today, there's a panel. There's supposed to be an impeachment probe panel that was supposed to begin today, and it did not appear before the panel. I'm lost. For someone that is trying so hard not to be impeached, that is going to the courts not to be impeached, is not appearing at the panel. Is that not counterproductive?
Maybe.
Because can't that be also used against you?
Maybe.
Because they'll say that, okay, they want you to, because the idea of those panels is for you to say your own side of the story and all that, yeah?
Yeah, well, I'm not a lawyer, but maybe if he fights back and says that the panel was set up by people who actually want him out in the first place, and he didn't believe he would get a fair hearing, so he didn't go. You get.
I would just want to know how I don't know how they want to do it, but I wonder how this is going to work. But just as I just saw something else just as I was just scrolling, and this is that the police has officially arrested vandals of Lagos Ibadan railway tracks.
Oh, those guys that cost well like 2 or 3.
Yeah, remember that last week they said 2 trains were forced to stop halfway.
Yeah.
Because of the tracks that had been
So-
stolen and
So
destroyed.
they probably
and
got them where they were trying to go sell the
Yeah,
items
so
that they sold, or how were they arrested?
Yes, I think it's on their way. I don't know now that I don't know how exactly they got caught, but their pictures with rail tracks that they were actually arrested with rail tracks. And the part that I cannot wrap my head around, we see it, everybody's just going about rail tracks because it is what is the new thing that is happening now, yeah? People literally dig holes on roads
Yeah,
just so that
they could cause traffic.
they will cause traffic and they'll probably sell better. It happens. Let's not lie to ourselves. And I'm like, I don't understand people's state of mind, people that do those things.
Yeah, they want to make a quick buck.
Like, everybody is going on about Nigerian transport system. We need to diversify. We need to do this. For years on end, this is the first time that we've seen like working trains Some people are driving never. I've never even entered a train in Nigeria before. Never. And this is a system that, by all means, is officially like this is now working. And then you as a Nigerian as well now feel that the only thing that you need to do is to destroy it. That's the part, like, I honestly can't wrap my head around when and how people do those things.
Okay. A lot of things happening, and I can't wrap my head around it too. I always wonder, like we always say, and at times they make us sound weak, Dolupo. How do you sleep at night? These guys don't care.
Do you get it?
You know, like we keep saying, how do you sleep at night? They just want to make a quick buck. You know, at the end of the day, they just want to make a quick buck. Talking about what government does and people's responses and all.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday, I don't know if you saw it, you know. Okay, but I don't know if you've seen this tweet from the EFCC.
Yeah.
Talking about the Ezani. They said 450 million Ezani bribe. Ex-minister Sarah Ochekwe.
Yeah, she was the one that
and two others to spend 6 years in prison. That's what EFCC is saying. So the angle that other headline came from was as if it was going to get off free or not.
Okay.
Since it may be multiple count charges,
Okay.
this is what the EFCC is saying about the interpretation and everything. Now, there's something that I actually wanted to bring out, you get.
Okay.
And the thing has to do with what we were talking about, how government, you know, goes about doing things and how they end up putting, you know, information out, and people tend to pervert it or just criticize for criticism's sake and all of that. There was a tweet that was put out by the SA to Lagos State Governor on social media, or I think is one of his essays. The guy's name, Jubril Gawat.
Yeah.
And he put out a tweet. He said that the last mile vehicles and stuff that Lagos State was planning, I know you've been hearing their own, like the Lagos State version of Uber or something.
Yeah,
but
the lag ride.
Yeah, lag ride and all of that. Lag ride is supposed to be, you know, a scheme that they say is aimed to take off all the rickety cars being used as taxis on our roads and providing alternatives to the operators who are not owners of the vehicle to become owners through a lease to own scheme and everything, you know. And when he put out that tweet, just like when Lagos State tweeted the thing 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago, I saw a lot of critics coming for it, like, oh, there's going to be more traffic, there's going to be this and there's going to be that, right? But I still think, like, is that all we see? So there was a particular person that tweeted, the lady that tweeted about how the government was sleeping and they're just being slow. Those were not exact words, I'm paraphrasing. But bottom line is, can they look at rail and other means of transport? And I'm like,
Are you living under the rock?
Like,
are you actually living under the rock?
Where have you been? These guys are actually doing all of these things that you are talking about, you know. So they also went to respond and said that they have the rail, the red and blue line, the waterways, you have the boats, and they also have the buses. You know, they have those small buses that are going to be running too. And the idea is like to create like a network of sorts, you know. You can take a lag ride to the train, you know, which means you're not even driving your car that day, which means traffic is lighter.
I'm even saying that with what you read out, the idea of systematically removing rickety cars off the road, how does that increase the number of cars on the road?
Yeah, because they're
like,
rolling out.
It still goes back to what
cars.
I said earlier. Like, I don't think that some of the time, a lot of the time, I'm sorry, we don't even think about these things before we say them. I think we just say them for the sake of saying it, just because you want to find something to criticize. I'm not saying that the government is wonderful. I'm not saying you shouldn't criticize the government. I'm just for, let's be intelligent with what we say.
That before you come out to tweet or say anything, be sure
a lot of these things are not very intelligent.
I'm sorry.
They're not.
What angle are you coming from? You understand?
That's it. What does it even make sense? Like, I'm lost. How is it a detrimental thing if I don't want to drive my car and there is a nice, comfortable car that will pick me from my house to take me wherever? I'm sure that even with the system of the people that drive Bolt and Uber and all that, when you have a system with the state government, it possibly is the working conditions are probably even cheaper.
Someone complained about the branding, that why should they brand it? That why don't they just leave it with neutral colors and everything?
Okay, so the branding is the problem.
That's what the response is. The person
If you buy your own car, you completely buy it. Go and change the color. Because there's some things that you're like, you don't even know what to say again. Like, people are honestly, I have come to a conclusion that people just want to find something to just criticize, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it.
Now, don't stop criticizing if you
just criticize with sense. That's it.
Then also prefer solutions. It's also important to do that.
That's it. I'm talking about let's move to politics. Before we get to politics, it's still politics, has to do with politics though, as the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has come out to say that about 6 million people have officially completed their continuous voters.
Is their website back on? People were complaining about it. I know you has complained twice.
I need to go back to it because when it worked, it did not work for me. I have a PVC. I just want to move my PVC from point A to point B. Which, if you make it online, then the point is that I couldn't even find my what's it called?
PVC.
My details on their website, like it did not exist. How is it that and I have a PVC which I got from an INEC office? That like I didn't see how that was working. So hopefully, I think it's still a very small number, a very minute number to where we're going to. 6 million fresh voters in the past, I think about more than 6 months now. I don't think it's a very
it's a poor number.
Where if we're supposed to be over 200 people, 200 million.
It's still because of the way we like this last minute thing.
Yeah, I think as at the last count,
INEC tells you they're shutting that thing down.
You will see the number. Yeah, I know that I think about the last time there was about 80 million registered voters, about that number, and if that's what we had before, 6 million is not doing anything to 80 million. Let's be honest with ourselves. 6 million is not enough to sway anybody. That's even if the 6 million even vote anyway.
And we have a lot of people talking about how they're not happy with the government. You're not registering. You're happy with the government. Because if you are, you should go and register so you can kick the government out. You should go and register so that your voice is heard.
Your voice is heard.
And if you think the government is doing well, you should register to keep
them in place.
Either ways, shall register.
Just register. Involved. I'm even saying that for a lot of people, it is it's another valid means of identification. It is. To be honest with you, when I did my PVC, that was one of the things in my mind. I didn't have a national ID card. I still don't have. It was like a major thing that I didn't have to be carrying my passport all over the place. That it's a very, very valid means of identification. It is going to help you. Look at it from that angle. When the police stops you for an ID card, you can show them that it's a very good means of identification. So please, if it's only for that sake, go and get your PVC. Thank you very much. End of my TED talk. We're moving on from that. So, also talking about election process, the presidency has come out to say, given reasons why President Buhari had not signed the electoral bill. Everybody has been going on about this electoral bill. We know that he had returned the electoral bill for a few times. In fact, it's since the 8th Assembly, this thing has been going back and forth. And it looks like the last time he returned it, he just had one issue, which a lot of people were going on about. Will the House of Assembly change it? Will they veto it? Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, it looked like they officially changed what the president had an issue with. And everybody was, I think a lot of people thought it was going to be like the minute they send it, maybe he was going to sign it the next day.
And send it back.
Or something. I think that was what a lot of people were talking about. And I read the series of tweets from the, I think, special advisor on media to the president, Femi Adesina, where he was talking about how these things take a process, that the president has a number of about 30 days for this, that it's
respond
actually
legally.
to respond legally, that these things are not as fast as you think they should be, or as fast as you want them to be. So they also are talking about how President Buhari is going to sign the electoral bill in a couple of days. So does it mean that there's no issue anymore now? It looks like, is it going to officially sign it now?
The thing is that during political voyage, I know me and Yemi had this discussion, and today there's a protest in Abuja by a group of people who are calling on the president to make sure he signs it. The insinuations that
he won't sign it.
If he signs it, is going to be detrimental to the health of his party or whatever ambitions people in his party have and all of that. But you want to ask yourself a question. How do we even care about that? Bottom line is, we care about Nigeria. We want Nigeria to move forward. If the electoral bill is what we need to get it done, then that's what we need to get it done. You know? So trying to bring up sentiments at times might not just be necessary.
Yeah, because so honestly, I think the last time, what was the only issue was just one major issue the president had. And so, if I agree that it takes a bit of process, which a lot of people might not know, which a lot of people do not find out. Story for another day.
Very, 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 very important.
People don't know. People don't find out. They don't bother to check.
They don't care.
But I also do not think that anything should delay the president from signing it. I don't have a problem of when he's going to sign it. I have a problem with the fact that I hope it is going to get signed. That's it for me. And now, there is news of another third force. Remember a few weeks ago, we talked about where some set of people, I think the former INEC chairman, Professor Patutomi, a few people had come out to say that they were bringing up with a third force. So how many third forces are there? It shouldn't be like, if there's a third force, shouldn't there be like a fourth force and a fifth force and a sixth force? Why is there multiple third forces?
Excuse me.
I'm just saying because there's another third force.
Excuse me, please.
Okay.
Please, now tell me, how many hands do you have?
2.
Raise your hand. Raise your left hand or right hand. Raise it. Where's your middle finger? Where's the third finger? From wherever you are counting, where's the third finger?
It's the middle one.
The middle one, Abi. This one, Abi.
This one.
That's the third force. Now, on your left hand, you have third force. On your right hand, don't you have third force?
Do we have left Nigeria and right Nigeria?
Do you have another middle finger or not? You have 2 now.
That's what I'm saying.
On your feet, you have another one in the middle too. So you see, you can have 3 or 4 third forces. You see, that's the process. You understand?
Do we have left Nigeria?
We do now. PDP is left, APC is right. So you can be the third force of PDP and third force of APC. You get? So when they come together, they have a force.
True. I didn't think of it like that.
So you see, when the party Utomi and all those people, those are third force APC. After all, Utomi was a former APC member, Abi.
Okay.
Now this other Galadima, is it not PDP? The new PDP man is PDP now, Abi. And that's third force PDP. You understand? So the number of force should not be the issue. It's the number of forces that force the force to force themselves to force every force that is now forcible. You understand what I'm trying to say? No. Are you with me?
No.
Are you with me? Are you following?
No.
Are you following? This is a serious political matter. Tolupo, listen carefully. Listen. Third force 1, third force 2. In a few days time, another third force will come. Even me and you, we can start our own force.
I know you are there.
What's now? Why are you like this? It's a political period. We can start our own third force. We'll just call Cornelius, call a cure. We have third force.
Cornelius, if you are watching, do not.
You should not do third force with me.
No.
If we win.
Win what?
Councillor, House of Assembly. We will win 1 or 2 things. You will not come and say we are your members or you are our members. You want to be our members. Now you don't want to put in the work.
On that note, that is all we have to take today on the Boomba. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening.
Join the third forces.
No, we're not. There's no third force. Thank you very much. We will definitely be back.
Dalong is in one of those forces. Join them.
Yeah, he's in this.
He's in this second, third force.
With a Kwakwanso and
yeah,
this 2023.
Interesting times ahead.
We'll definitely be here. Have a beautiful day ahead.